Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 128 of the Scope FPS podcast. Where we're going to talk about FPS stuff going on this week. I think today is going to be a pretty chill episode. There's not a lot of earth-shattering things going on, but we're going to still have fun. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about FPS games that we love. Thankfully, Blue is back. We're glad to have him back. We had the little, I caused a disaster last week, but we're back.
How dare you?
We're back on track. And I do have to say, before we get too started, Nebula, thank you so much for the massive $50 super chat. Really appreciate that as well. And before I forget my boomer brain, I have to check stuff off before it's gone because my thoughts are always fleeting. I want to say welcome into all the new audio listeners. We've had a lot of downloads over the last week from the audio version. It could be Buff called it out, the call to action to get people to give us a review on Spotify and Apple Podcast. It might have worked. We might have figured something out scientifically, but there could potentially be a lot more audio listeners going forward, and we appreciate you. So welcome into the audio listeners. Thank you for everyone being here live. Your presence means the world to us, and we appreciate it a lot. I am Crash, joined by the co-hosts Buffnerd Gaming and BlueTheRobot. What's up, men?
Hello.
How are we doing?
How are we doing?
I'm good. It's raining right now, so if I lose connection, it's a big old storm coming in. I got these hurricane bands hitting Florida right now.
Is it hurricane season? I never pay attention. I live in Kansas.
It's hurricane season. Yeah.
I'm nowhere near any hurricanes ever. I'm in the middle of land, just land everywhere.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with a hurricane though than a tornado.
I'm a landlubber. Buff, how are you doing?
Good, man. Very good. I've been enjoying some. I finally set up first-person Wildlands, and I am having the time of my life. Like, I did a couple test streams with it yesterday, and then I realized halfway through, I think the YouTube stream, someone pointed out there's different HUD options to turn off. So I did a bunch of HUD refinements, and dude, it was pretty sick. So the game's a lot of fun. It really is a game changer. I know we were talking about perfect games and stuff like that. And I was I think I said if you take Wildlands first person, that's my favorite game. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, having a good time.
Have you played through it before, or have you played some of it before, and then now you're just doing first person?
Yeah. So I have it on PlayStation, and I probably got through maybe a quarter of the map, I think, on PlayStation over the past year on and off when I play casually. So, but again, now being on PC and having no HUD, so having to learn the controls on PC, especially because the first person mod gives you a reshade and a body cam look to it. So you have a fisheye. So it's hard to see the controls unless you turn stuff off. So I learned the controls and getting back into it, but it's definitely a switch, the controls game on PC, but man, it feels so good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing through the whole thing this time.
It looks really cool. I watched you run it on Twitch for a while, and it's interesting, man. It's like a completely different game. Does that?
It really is, yeah.
Because Deef made videos about that, and I seen Blue do some stuff with it too, with reshade and stuff. Did that change your opinion on that body cam game? Because it made it look like body cam, and then that makes you think see what they did. That's what they did to the body cam game. Did it change?
I mean, I think in my opinion, it was, I like the reshade better just overall. I don't really like adding a body cam option into it. I did first person Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and it was cool, but the way the head spins around the body, if you don't pay attention as you flicking the mouse too fast, your head will just do a 360. I don't know if they fixed that, but that kind of took me out of the immersion factor. I don't know if it does that for Wildlands, because I know it came out first for Wildlands, the first person mod.
Yes. Yep. And it is available for Breakpoint, but I haven't seen it or played it on Breakpoint yet. But I feel like Wildlands, I always thought Wildlands was a better,
I think it's a better playing Ghost Recon open world game, but I think I think, as I said, body cam. I think Breakpoint looks better.
Yeah,
it's also a newer game, you know, so it's kind of hard to compare the two. Not to say though, Wildlands still looks really good,
especially with the reshade and on PC. Like, it's definitely a huge graphical improvement. I'm running everything on high now, or very ultra, I think it is. But with the reshade too, I'm honestly, I was pretty shocked. Like, it didn't have a first person option at base with the game, because the first person mod looks so natural with the weapons, and you can switch shoulder. It's so cool, man. So I'm having a good time with it. It looks really good. And I think we had this discussion about, you know, Project Over or whatever the new one is in development, that we said like it has to have a first person and a third person option.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think the new one will have that?
It has to, dude. I think the popularity of these mods too, but I mean, I think it's something, when you're going into a next iteration of a Ghost Recon game like this, that makes the most sense. I feel like if you're trying to appeal to a wider audience, right? Why not have the option? If it looks natural and good, I don't know why they wouldn't do it.
It's Ubisoft. That's why they wouldn't.
True.
Don't forget who we're talking about here.
Yeah.
They could screw it up. But yeah, those games I think are still on sale. The summer sale is still going on Steam, I think, for a little bit longer. So if anyone out there is interested in those, and like I said last week, like we did a roundtable with some different, it's going on for a couple of days. By the time you're listening to this, it might not be. So dang it. But we talked about a bunch of games that were on sale last week. Buff and I did, and it's a good time if you've switched platforms recently, switched over to PC to pick up some of those games that you had on console at a good price. If you're missing out on those. But yeah, man, that looked pretty cool. Blue, have you been playing anything? You've been out and about IRL and
yeah, just IRL stuff, but still on that Stalker grind. I've been trying out a lot of like almost like, so I've played pretty much all the main story games now. Modded, I haven't played them vanilla. A lot of people they prefer vanilla, but look, it's an old game. All right, I'm putting some mods on it, but at least it's the full vanilla story, so it's, you know, it's, I still get to see how the story went. But now I'm done with all that, and now I'm trying like other mods that have their own stories and their own new locations, cut content that was originally supposed to be for the first game. So it's pretty cool seeing that. Oh my god, okay, hold up,
what are we doing,
man?
What are we doing, guys?
And Bushwhack,
are you guys
going crazy?
Yeah, are you guys gonna have to make me turn off monetization so we can just get through?
Where's Rooks? If Rooks comes in next, just saying.
Okay. Like, Justin, let's handle this real quick. Justin with the $10 super chat. Hoping that everyone had a good weekend. Gray Zone Warfare, IRR, Incursion Red River, and Ready or Not updates on the horizon. Delta Force next week. Much to be excited for. That is true. That is true. If you take your eyes outside of COD, there's stuff out here, guys.
Who would have known?
I know. Who would have thought? Nebula with another $20 because he's an animal, and Bushwhacker with a $9.99. It's gonna be good. Something's gonna be good. I don't know if it's the production team, but we'll be all right.
Oh, real quick, I went and checked out the flea market, and we got some really sick kettle popcorn. It's so freaking good. Oh my gosh,
kettle popcorn. That's the stuff that's like just a little bit sweet.
A little sweet. A very, very small amount, but it's that saltiness. Oh my god. Anyways, I'm like a popcorn fiend.
Dude,
but yeah, just been doing a lot of Stalker mods. Right now it's called Spatial Anomaly is what I'm doing. And then I'm still just messing with like Stalker Anomaly, modding that to my PC blows up. Which just makes me even more excited that there's mod support coming for Stalker 2. Which is just going to hopefully blow people's minds out the water. I think the game in general is going to be, the storyline should be amazing. So, and yeah, I mean, I think you probably experience the same thing too, like the channel growing in general, just on a different scale than normal. So it's, you know, I've been kind of just focused on that and really just having a good time not playing multiplayer games right now.
Yeah,
you know, I definitely I know Once Human is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah,
so I know a lot of people have been asking me to cover that, so I might take a look at it. I know it looks weird, it looks like it's just a bunch of different survival games put together in one. You know, but people were having fun with it. I know Player 2 played it a lot and was having a lot of time into it, so I might check it out. But that's about it in the gaming world.
I remember Geeks, who I had on the show way back in the day. He's a like Tarkov streamer, DMZ streamer, Geeksay. He enjoyed it a lot. I think he had were there custom servers for that?
Once Human?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Once Human.
Well, I know it got like a big, just like, I don't know. I forgot when the test was, that original one, but yeah, it comes out tomorrow, and we'll see. We'll see.
$20 again from Neb. Once Human drops tomorrow, and I love the beta. It's awesome. I might have to check it out. Is it free to play? Or is
maybe.
It
I don't know. I never really looked into it. According to Steam, it is planned to release. I don't see anything about free to play. I think you got to pay for it.
I would assume so. It feels
like
a paid game. Too. But no, I get what you mean. You said so. Your channel,
your wish list.
Your channel's been doing good, Blue, on the Stalker stuff. Been growing.
Yeah. I mean, there was interesting story that came through. It says it's free. Interesting. Okay. I could be wrong, but like sometimes we are on the show. It's fine.
We're never wrong.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, never mind. You're right. You're never wrong. Everything we say is set in stone. No, there was a journalist that went to Summer Games Fest and tried out Stalker 2, and it was kind of a controversial take because it's basically he got not upset, but he was ticked off almost, I would say, or just annoyed at the fact that he kept dying to a mechanic that's in the game. Like, instead of wondering like, how do I get better, he just immediately kind of like shrugged it off to the side. So like there's like little electrical anomalies in the game, and he kept dying to it. He didn't know what the beeping was from his detector, so he thought that if he got closer it was safer. Maybe, I don't know how he was playing it, but it was just like, you brought in somebody that, I don't know, because Stalker is not for the casual gamer, in my opinion. It's one of those games that you start at the bottom of the barrel. So it's interesting to see like how, because people are going to be introduced to Stalker for the first time, I think, when Stalker 2 comes out. And it's going to be very interesting to see how people react to how difficult the game could be, especially starting off in the beginning. So
do you think since it's been kind of pushed as like a mainline Xbox title that they'll simplify it and make people mad?
No, from the people that understand what Stalker is, like the articles that have been put out and stuff like that, the people that understand what Stalker is are heavily pleased. Like, they're surprised how great it looks. They're excited to get into it. But the people that don't know how Stalker plays, those are the people that are having issues. So it's like, you know, I'm kind of curious what the casual audience will be. But again, I think Stalker just isn't for the casual audience, which, it's weird. I don't know what you would consider indie nowadays, but Stalker 2 still feels like it's like almost like it's indie, almost, just with a lot of mainstream attention, because I still think it's not indie in terms of team size or budget, but as in like just the feel of the game. Almost, I don't know if that makes any sense, because it's kind of like Elden Ring, I guess people will say. You know, it's like Elden Ring can be really tough for new players, and Dark Souls, that's the whole thing that gets thrown around. It's like, this game plays like Dark Souls, and it's like, it's a really hard game, but once you get into it and you understand it, it becomes something else entirely, something amazing. So yeah, I've just been on that rant lately with when it comes to Stalker 2.
Yeah, it seems like any game like that has like a big following, or people play for a long time, or just any game worth a shit, it takes something to get into it. There's a barrier of entry there, and to make it worth it. I don't know how else to say it, but no, that's really cool.
And then we'll talk about Deadside later as well too. Well, actually, that might be a good segue.
Well,
What else to talk about?
I kind of wanted to talk about, man, I had an awesome
Oh yeah,
weekend,
true.
though.
What?
Just real quick. I had because of the 4th, so I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and it was awesome, dude.
Oh
like,
yeah, happy Independence Day, guys.
Yeah,
I didn't
you
get to
too.
talk to you guys during
totally
that time.
forgot to say that, huh?
Happy belated
Wow, we're wearing
show.
an American flag on my freaking shirt. Wow.
I got America on the wall behind me. Like, come on, guys. Like, dang it, man. No, I had an awesome 4th, but like having those 4 days off, like I got to pretend to be like a full-time content creator for a while, and it was so cool, man. Like, I just
I saw you streaming a bunch, which is awesome.
I just think of like all this stuff I could do. Like we could like with putting more time into the podcast and like being able to have like, so I'd have like morning coffee streams trucking, like just talking about whatever, and then work on YouTube in the afternoon, and then in the evening stream the shooters, streaming Gray Zone and streaming Rainbow Six, and like it was, man, it was just awesome. It was fun to focus on that stuff for a few days, but. So I had a good time with that, playing some Rainbow. It's in one of the troughs as far as fun because of cheaters. There are a ton of cheaters in Rainbow. So
is there? Yeah, it's kind of always been an issue plaguing it. I feel like on and off, huh?
You can really feel it's on and off. Exactly. You can feel it. Like you can feel when they're bad, and then you can feel when it's a ban wave, and you'll have a few good weeks, and then you can really tell when like those ban waves happen and stuff. You can feel it in the game. It's kind of crazy. And then played a little bit of Battlefield 5 too. That was really good.
I saw that. You look like you were having the time of your life when it came to that, dude.
It's great. It's a great game.
It made me want to get that re-downloaded. It looks so smooth, man. Like I was watching someone play Battlefield 4, and then I just kept thinking about the movement in Battlefield 5. I was like, just put the movement in Battlefield 4 and ship it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sign me up for that, man. Especially, I mean, I know this is a quick segue, but I think the Battlefield, I think Hardline 3 and 4 servers are going offline. I think it's in August or September or something like that. So
yeah.
In case anybody wanted to jump in on that, I haven't been playing with Battlefield 4 lately. What's that?
That was only for Xbox 360.
Oh, is it not
PC?
Okay, yeah, maybe it's not PC. I'm not sure.
I think it's for only older consoles, which kind of makes sense.
It sucks because like, man, Battlefield 4, I put a lot of time into that for sure. I think that came out 2014, so I played it November 2013. I played it when the PlayStation 4 launched, day one. Straight, that's all I played for like 4.5, 5 years. Crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield Hardline servers are shutting down November 7th for PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah. Rip the dream. End of an era. But yeah, played that. And then on the comments to this podcast last week, somebody told me to quit saying Battlefield 5 is good. So in response to that, I'm saying again, I want to hear the response that Battlefield 5 is good. I'm saying,
and you're gonna play some more Battlefield 5
because it is. Yeah.
See, and like we had a discussion last week. Like I know Blue wasn't here, but I mean, I only played the original beta, and like I said, I wasn't a fan of it. But I mean, the same thing Blue just said. You take the movement mechanics and everything like that from 5 and reskin it to modern. I think you have one of the best Battlefield games probably. So.
Yeah.
I can at least, granted, just because I didn't like the World War II setting and what it was, doesn't mean I can't look from the outside and appreciate the movement and the leaning and all of that.
Like the World War II setting got good, in my opinion, once the Iwo Jima DLC dropped.
Right.
Like when I saw that, like they finally okay, this is a World War II shooter. It's not woman with hook hand. I know everyone makes fun of her and stuff like that, but it's true because it was just it was so just awkward and out of nowhere, and you went from one of the most realistic, intense shooters of a World War I. Sure, they had red dots in there too, but still, it wasn't. It was way more immersive than all of a sudden you put this out, and I don't know. It looked like, but it's gotten way better. It's one of those things that it aged finally, whereas 2042 it won't do the same. I feel like, in my opinion. And I go, some people, the player count number for Battlefield 2042 shot up like crazy
on sale.
I think it's due to the update, the sale, the last amount of content, and also seeing the Dead Space character running around in there too, you know. So yeah, it was kind of crazy to see how much people were playing that though, on PC, let alone probably console. So
man, every time that happens on a sale, I forget. I really need to see if I can get in a Firestorm match. I forget.
Yeah, that's what I was curious. We were talking about it on sale last week in the show, and I was curious if there would be any Firestorm servers up.
I don't know. That's something to think about right there.
Yeah.
Sadly, I missed out on Firestorm. I feel like, I mean, I think a lot of people did because they just didn't. Yeah, so I'm not the only one.
It is sad though.
But it is, yeah, man. I mean, it was literally just like destruction and what you wanted out of a pretty traditional BR. So, and cool. I thought the fire was a cool. Like, I remember seeing the trailer for it. If there wasn't so much hate on Battlefield 5 to begin with, I think would have played it for sure. But I did think the fire closing in was a better way, especially for the trailers. Trailer team always knocks it out the park. Was a better way to do it instead of just that closing blue circle, you know.
Yep. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a bummer, man. But should we talk about something that's not a bummer, like Deadside?
Boom, segue.
I guess
that was terrible.
We'll see.
But I tried.
We'll see. I'm not saying it's gonna be a bummer, but there's people that are saying it is a bummer.
Really? How so?
So, well, let's talk about what Deadside has come out with first, what they're planning to release here soon. And it's actually quite a lot in terms of, I think, like 5 months worth of stuff. So recently, of course, probably everyone's seen it by now. If not, you can go check out my video. There was the introduction video of ground vehicles. So you have now the UAZ, I think it's called. It's not, I don't know if it's called UAZ in game, but it's the Russian little 4-door Jeep looking thing. There's that now that they showcased, and they showcased a little bit. They will be showing later the little motorcycle, which I believe is a 2-seater. So now you have a 4-seater vehicle and a 2-seater motorcycle. So that's already cool. I'm glad that that's finally showcased. You have, like, in the Jeep, you know, you have the little SUV thing. You have a trunk space. You have health. You have gas. The only issue I'm having with, and for people that are looking at on screen, I don't know if it goes any faster than what you're looking at. I know a lot of people, like, when they go play DayZ and they're just hauling down the roads or down a forest and they hit the smallest rock and immediately start barrel rolling. So it's, you know, it's a little bit worrying, because I wonder, it's like, if it is moving that slow, did they do it for a reason? Is it for said reason of just not barreling to your death? Does it go faster? Are they just kind of just showcasing it? Do you shift? Is it like a boat where you just hold W and you keep going? So that's what I wonder what it's gonna be like. And the motorcycle. I mean, also, you can run people over. I mean, at least they showcased you can run NPCs over. I don't know if you can run players over. Which would be kind of hilarious to see your buddy just get just ran over real quick,
crashing in the side of a base.
Yeah. And speaking of bases, they do want to redesign, I guess, the idea of base rating. So right now, the current system for base rating is, if you're online, you get killed, you drop a raid token, it gets activated in normal servers for an hour, and within that hour, there's a big red circle that goes around the general area of your base, and it'll be like, hey, somewhere in this section, this is where that person is. Go find their base, blow it up with C4. That's it. But if you're offline, you basically couldn't be rateable. You were unrateable because you would just never be online and stuff like that. So what people apparently were doing was were making alt accounts and making unrateable base designs. Basically, they'd come in, make the base, assign everybody to the base, and then leave. And that's it.
Okay.
So it'd basically be an unrateable base. So what they're going to do is more, it's more on the terms of DayZ, Rust, Scum, where your base is now rateable even if you're offline. So, you know, you have basically your base is always vulnerable at that point, which I think was the better route in my opinion. I think you should always be like, that's kind of the point of playing these games anyways. A lot of the comments that I got in my video were like, this is dumb, they're not listening to the players. Now this chill game went to a sweaty game. I still think like Deadside wasn't meant to be for the casual gamer anyways. I mean, it was a little bit more casual than said DayZ because it doesn't have like you getting sick or anything like that. But it was also like super early access. I mean, like look at where Rust is nowadays, where they're adding so much content into that game. And I think Deadside fits in more with the Rust aspects. They even have like they introduced sleeping bags. I stopped playing the game for about 5 months, and they brought in so much from the last time I played to now. Like sleeping bags now are available to be used. You can like make a sleeping bag, place it down on top of your respawn area too. So you can put a sleeping bag in a building and, you know, commence on the rooftop and spawn there if you need to, you know. And then the respawn beacon allows your entire squad to spawn there as well too. So there's just a lot more coming to it. There's also if I go through the list, there's just so much. And they added skins, of course, too. They also added a 5x4 kilometer experimental map you can go play on, which basically shrinks down the map to just about a little north of the bus station zone, and then a little bit south, just above the like big military base, excluding the big city. So it's very small. You're gonna have the same amount of players on now a very small map. So PvP is just everywhere. You can't get away from it on that map. So that's kind of what they try to do. I think with the introduction of vehicles, you should be able to see more PvP because people are just gonna be traveling a lot more faster. Plus the sleeping bags, plus the respawn beacons. There's just more ways to do that. And I know Crash will be happy about this. They finally added Battle Eye integration. So, you know, it helps with, you know, it's a decent anti-cheat. It's not the best. It's, you know, I still think there's no such thing as the best anti-cheat other than AnyBrain. But we'll see in the future. And they also gave admins finally the tools to be able to actually fly around the map, go invisible, look at players, see other players, track them to see if they're actually hacking and stuff like that. So there's actually admin powers that for community servers, people can actually do stuff now. They did say that, though, I hope they fix it, that doing admin stuff on a server can lower performance issues for some people. So I really hope that gets fixed. But that's been, I mean, for the longest time, the only thing an admin can do was like spawn stuff in and teleport. They couldn't spectate anybody else. They couldn't be invisible. They couldn't fly around the map. You know, there's a lot more added to it. God, there's literally so much, man. They remodeled the Mosin, the MP5. They also changed a lot of the armor prices, rebalanced stuff here and there and stuff like that. And then the next up the grade, also armor durability. I totally forgot about that. Armor durability and repair system. So now your armor has a durability on it. Everything from a small police vest to the big heavy assault vest. Yeah, I mean, there's even armor penetration now with certain calibers. So it's getting, I would say, way more hardcore. The only thing that some people might not enjoy is, again, if you're ADSing and you're walking, your gun still kind of does like a figure 8. So, but that update right now with the armor rebalance like that is currently out right now. It's currently 0.12.2. But the big one, 0.12. What does it say? It doesn't actually say the actual number. But the one after this one, that's when they'll start adding the different base rating mechanics, base maintenance as well too. Again, another thing kind of taken from Rust, where now instead of building a base and not having to worry about it decaying, you have to keep collecting resources to keep in your base in order from the base to prevent the base from decaying. So instead of now a 7-day decay on official servers, and like for like my server that I want to bring out, it'll be 15 days. Now it'll be up to your own control. So if you know you're going to be gone for a while and you think your base can survive, put a bunch of resources in it, you come back 2 weeks later, it'll still be there. If it wasn't rated, of course. And then they also want to work on trader leveling too. So now you get to level up traders. Like this is kind of like Tarkov-esque, which is kind of like the best way, in my opinion, to kind of explain Deadside, is like Tarkov meets Rust with like a slight amount of DayZ, just no zombies pretty much. So yeah, there's gonna be level trading. I can keep going on and on.
Yeah,
basically,
tons of stuff, man.
Yeah, go read it for yourself. There's a lot more things that I missed that you just have to go check it out yourself. It's on Steam, on their Steam page, underneath the announcements and stuff like that. So I don't know. What do you guys think about all that?
It's great. It's just been, this game's been out for a while, and it's just been a steady, like a slow but steady improvement with just adding mechanics and doing fixes and optimizations. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like you see Deadside and you're just like, oh yeah, I played that. And then it's like, but it's been a few months, then you go back and look at like, holy crap, they actually added like a ton of stuff. Like it kind of sneaks up on you how much stuff they had. And I would say it's a lot like those games like DayZ and Rust and stuff, but it's way more accessible. I feel like it's a little more, and I don't know if casual is the right word, because you can play the game however you want. Like you don't have to play it casual, but you also don't have to play it for 500 hours before you understand how it works. It's really intuitive, and you can get to having fun quickly, is what I would say.
And there's even like hardcore servers, like specifically they're tagged of hardcore, that get rid of like safe zone storage and the safe zone entirely. So like
that's cool.
Having a storage in your base is necessary to keep stuff. And if like if you are walking around with tens of thousands of dollars in your pocket in your safe zone area, you can get shot and get robbed. So it's like, it can either be, but it's like an option you could choose. So it can either be super chill or super hardcore. And it's actually really cool that they're giving us the option, especially for like server owners and stuff like that, to be able to do that.
Yeah. And like Nebula said, you can have he likes the idea of being able to build a base or claim land, or you can be nomadic and just move around. I've played it both ways. I've done stuff where I build like a super cool base, but I've also kind of done playthroughs of it where I've just like made little stashes and I've hid them under trees and things and like just hide shit. And you're like, no one's ever going to find it here. So you just have these boxes with your stuff all around the map hidden. So you can play it like so many different ways.
Well, imagine now like you put a crate and a sleeping bag right next to it. So in case like you're out there, you die. If you have a sneaky enough spot, you can spawn at your sleeping bag, pick up the stuff in the crate, and get right back into a fight. If you really wanted to, Yeah,
it's kind of fun. I would do the same thing. Like I'd build a chest like deep in the woods, and then you go back to play a couple days later, and you just like, man, I wonder if my stuff's still there. Like I hope it's still there, and you go, hope nobody's come across it.
Yeah, and when they introduce that like base rating mechanic now, and like if you're offline, they can't grab your stash. Now they can blow up your crate and get into it and get access. And also, because of that, they're gonna add in again, as I keep bringing up Rust, because in Rust you can upgrade your base, so it can go from like a wooden wall to a scrap metal wall, and that's what they're gonna be doing. They're gonna add like the scrap metal in game. You can use that to upgrade your base to make it even harder and more defensible and stuff like that. So
crazy. What do you think, Buff? all this
Yeah,
madness.
it sounds. I mean, the game. It looks like a lot of fun for sure. This is one of those ones where, like you said, it keeps getting better and better. So down the road, I'll probably check it out. My issue is I'm just in the middle of playing so much stuff. So getting around to this,
You're catching up though.
Yeah,
People are gonna understand.
exactly.
Like you were out without a decent PC for a minute.
Yeah,
Like you're
forever.
just playing ready or not. Like catch up, man. Come on. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly. Yeah. So this is one of those ones I can see myself totally getting into when I get around to it. And by that, the amount of updates they keep doing, really cool. So the game looks like a lot of fun.
And it's also on sale as well too for $7.99 right
is that
now.
Part of the summer Steam sale, or is it just on sale?
Yeah, summer Steam still. They do a lot of sales actually. But yeah, right now it's on sale for $7.99 and it's normally $20. And I think the amount of content you're getting is insane for that price.
But it is more, it's the open world thing. It's kind of like Gray Zone without the questing and with an addition of like more crafting and base building stuff is what I would say.
Yeah, I do wish. And now here's the negative parts I feel like of it. I still think first of all, it's got a long way to go. A lot of people say because of their partnership with Tiny Build that they have the money, they have a big team now. But I'm thinking like, well, some people, what in your terms, what is a big team? Is 20 people a big team? Is 40 people a big team? Is 60 people a big team? Like, yeah, there's still a small team in the scope and scale that they want to make this game. Like, and it's not just, okay, you bring people in, they start working right away. No, you got to onboard them. You got to train them in the way you operate. Things happen. I'm seeing a lot, but now behind the scenes of actual game development, people have different schedules. If you're working, remotely and stuff like that, you might have someone working in America and they're working in Russia, and that's a whole time scale difference as well too. So, or a time zone difference. So there's a lot. And what was it? The other thing too is that there's only one weather type right now, and it's sunny and clear, or bright and night. That's it, and cloudy maybe. Like, I still think, in my opinion, especially from like a Stalker player right now too, there needs to be a lot more of the weather effects eventually. But again, that's another thing the thing every time they put out an update, they want to make sure they get it right the first time. And that's why I really appreciate from these guys is that, like with the boats, for instance, when they wanted to put out the boats, they kept pushing it off. Eventually they just said, hey, it'll come out when it's ready, instead of keep putting a date on and delaying it. And then when it came out, it worked great. Like, sure, is there going to be little issues here and there? Yeah, but that's early access, and they fixed it right away. And it's like the little, like super small things, like, oh, I pressed F once and didn't work, now I press it again, now I'm in. So it's like little things like that. And if they add in rain and fog and storms and then wind effects, and that's a lot that could break someone's PC if they don't do it right.
Game, man.
It's already it's just Unreal Engine 4 still.
Yeah,
like so many games are switching to Unreal Engine 5 and having issues and just trying to make their game look like this. And it's like, these guys did it and on UE4. And I know, again, for people that love mods as well too, from the conversations that I've had with them, they are waiting until 1.0 is out and then they'll start looking into it. So it's not like officially confirmed, but they're not saying no. And that's already a good sign. The fact that, like, hey, they have the possibility of allowing mods. So then, like, again, I think it's kind of like the Daisy effect. I think we talked about it a while back. It's just like, it's going to take a minute. And then once it does, it's just, it might not ever stop.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It makes me want to play it talking about it. Are you going to fire up the Blue Blood server?
Yeah. So this time though, it's gonna be a little different. I like to kind of just be chill. So it is gonna be a PvE server, but the AI is gonna be a little bit harder. They're gonna like be able to hit you a little bit harder, which means you also hit them a little bit harder as well too. I believe that's how the scale works when you increase it. And there's no safe zone. There's no safe zone storage, so you have to build a base. And it's locked in first person, so it's going to be a little bit more kind of hardcore ish. It's still PvE, so there's no actual player versus player. We'll see how this server does. Maybe in the future, if it does well, like I'll open up like the small PvP experimental map and then do that as well, so I can have like 2 servers. But for now, it'll just be the PvE server for now. So when that's coming out exactly, man, I'm so busy lately. I just literally got I drove like an hour today just to get back today. So as soon as I get it up, everyone will be notified. So
heck yeah.
And then you can come back and start fishing. You can do. There's so much different kinds of fish now.
Yeah.
They got wolves now. They got deer.
Deer, right?
Too.
So you can smoke.
Yeah,
deer
they got
and
deer.
Cook them up, right?
Dude. Deer. You can. I think. Can you cook wolf? Maybe. I don't know. And they're scary. The wolves are kind of scary. If you get close to them, like you don't even hear them until they start growling. It's like, oh, where is it? Where is it?
Man, it's such
trouble.
That game is such a vibe, man. I just would get it. And
it really is.
I play through it like once or twice a year, I feel like, and every time I enjoy it, I experience the content that's there, and then it's just kind of like run out of stuff to do. But they just keep adding stuff that brings me back to it. Every time I play through it, it's just like, I don't know. It's got a feel to it. It's got an immersive quality to it that you feel like you're there. And it's cool. It's got great. I think it's got pretty good audio, and it's a very pretty game. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. It's just people will complain no matter what. I feel like. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten people where they said that the AI is too hard, and then literally the last video I put out like a week ago, oh, AI is too easy now. Okay, guys, pick a side, choose one. Are they too easy or are they too hard? You know,
depends on where you're at. Last time I played, the ones on those roving convoys were not easy.
Oh yeah, no, those convoys. I mean, they're tough for a reason, though. That's like some of the best gear you can grab. That's like fighting Killa and wondering why he's so hard. It's like you're fighting a boss and all his lackeys. You're not just fighting just the boss one-on-one.
He's got his homies with him.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'm still again looking forward to eventually maybe them adding some kind of like different weather effects, because I as much as I love the way it looks, I think, you know, a little bit of fog might not be bad. A little maybe some gray hazy skies or something. It sucks that they also took off reshade support, because again, sadly people were using it to look at, you know, they were using night vision when there's no night vision in the game. So yeah, literally I'm looking at one of the comments now. They were like, game is at its worst now. And it's like, oh gosh, okay, all right. And then another one was like, they're not listening to us. But then there's other people like, I've been enjoying it. And it's like, okay, so it's again, there's no way to win, and it's still sitting at mostly positive reviews. So
but alrighty. Yeah, so we're checking out again. I didn't even realize there was that much stuff.
Yeah, going over it again, it just reminded me how much more it is. I'm just waiting for you to come back so I can see you just sitting by the lake fishing. And scoping on some deer.
He's fishing, slamming deer.
He's fished. Yeah, dude. Talk about a chill stream then. Just out there fishing. And you can sell the fish too. I think you make some good money.
With my steering wheel.
With your stamp. Hey, when the vehicles come in.
The UAZ, I plug in my steering wheel real quick and just drive around. Dude, yes.
Boom.
American.
Run people over.
What is it? Russian Jeep Simulator is what it would be called?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just call it Russian Jeep Simulator at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. Just drive around the whole time.
Dude, there's a horn on there, just honking the horn as you're like about to run.
The whole back end with like the stash area, just load it with gas and just drive around the map. Oh, yes, dude.
Shoot.
Yes. So speaking of games and day-night cycle, we got a bit of a Gray Zone Warfare update today in the form of Community Briefing 3. I made a video about it today that I put out after lunch. I made it over my lunch break. And on screen now, sorry, audio listeners, is a shot, the first shot of night. They posted a sunset shot. And now there is a full night shot with clear skies. You can see like Milky Way. It looks really cool. It's kind of bright with the moonlight. So it kind of looks like, you know, you don't have to have night vision to be able to move around, but the shadows, all the vegetation, the jungle could get you in trouble without night vision. So it looks cool, man. It looks really neat. I think it's going to be really pretty and immersive, and hopefully we hear about it pretty soon. Some of the things that they talked about is toggle ADS and lean are coming. There's a lot of controversy in my Discord, in my comments. So I've thrown a little bit of shade at people that toggle ADS.
What?
Don't.
Wait, why do you throw shade at people that toggle ADS?
It's so weird, man.
I do it a lot in Stalker.
People that
I do it a lot in single. I do it a lot in single player
Again
games.
to un-ADS.
Oh,
yeah. Single player games I do a lot.
It depends on the game.
It depends on the game, right?
I usually hold, but it depends. Like for Breakout, I had toggle on, I think. But that's also because I'm getting my bearings on PC again, so less clicks was better for me.
All right.
I've toggled lean as well too. Just saying.
Toggle lean's okay. I toggle lean.
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry. My fingers do not contort that way on a keyboard. Trying to if I'm trying to walk to the left and lean at the left and try and there's I can't. Yeah,
toggle lean's fine. It's I jiggle peek real quick. Toggle lean's nice. Toggle aim is just like, what if you just want to ADS real quick? You gotta click it up, and you get in a gunfight, and sometimes you want to go to.
It depends. So Arena Breakout Infinite, for instance, it's almost slower paced. For slower paced games, for Gray Zone Warfare is actually I would toggle ADS because there's gonna be moments where I'm sitting there waiting.
We should move on.
Maybe that's why I died the last time and uninstalled the game. That's probably why, because I had toggle ADS. That's why.
Might be. We have to look at everything. The road. Oh, do I really have to answer that? Why is toggle aim not a must? Toggle lean, because you can still be quick with it. You can still be super fast with toggle lean. I can jiggle peek really fast and stuff. But there's always a delay.
This isn't Rainbow Six Crash.
Sometimes I just want to scope in real quick, and then I'm in a gunfight. Oh, there's a guy close. I let off my trigger. I'm hip firing. Just don't. Let's move on. Luckily there'll be an option. So for you heathens that want to toggle ADS, you can.
I use macros anyways.
Roadmap coming soon. I think that roadmap is going to be a really big deal for Gray Zone Warfare. There's a ton of people that are just waiting on the sidelines to see what happens with this game, and that's going to give people a pretty good idea of when they might come back to the game. They're still working on issues with AI. They confirmed that they are listening to AI issues. Devil Dog is sending them clips of people on Twitter with issues with AI and stuff like that. So they're working on it. AI is a big issue in the game right now. I agree with the community on that one. They are going to be upgrading to the newest version of Unreal Engine 5.4 at some point. It's got some new things in it to help with optimization that they want to use. There's just not a timetable on that yet, but it is in their plans. This is the first I've heard of this today. They said they want to make knives more viable. So stealth will be an option. Right now it takes 5 or 6 stabs to kill an AI. But they showed a clip of sneaking up on an AI. It looked like they were about to assassinate. So that would be really cool if you could sneak around in the starter town in the alleyways and stuff and one hit knife.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I'm rooting for this game. People might not think so, but I'm rooting for this game.
Me too, dude. I think it's got a ton of potential. There's no plans for ground vehicles. This is really big, and I'm hoping it's soon, but I'm guessing it's going to be for the big content update later this year. More loot and more valuable loot. I streamed some Gray Zone over the last couple of days, and I was talking about this, how I'm getting to quests that are really hard to do. Even PvE, they're getting really hard to do solo, having to go to Tiger Bay and stuff like that. It would be really cool. It'd be really cool to be able to just hey, I want to take a break from quests. I want to go PvP. I just want to cause chaos, run around and get into gunfights with other players. If you do that and you have a rough streak and you lose money, kind of the only way to make decent money right now is to do quests, and it's like I don't want to. I just want to PvP and run around and be silly. So it would be cool if you could still play the game in perpetuity. If you didn't want to do quests by PvPing, you got low on money, maybe go to the starter town, find some loot, do some crafts, make some trades, and make your money back. It'd be cool if there were other viable ways to make money. It sounds like that's going to happen. That was a really discombobulated way to say that, but I eventually got there.
Or find a wallet on the ground, just saying.
Boom. That'd be sweet too.
I'm sorry.
Ammo, weapon, and key cases are coming for stashes, and they are also, this is the first I've heard of this too. They said that they're discussing shared task progression amongst the squad. So if you're in a squad and you do the same quest, you could share the progression. So that'd be pretty
that's
cool.
nice.
That's
nice, especially like in the beginning.
Yeah, that's especially helpful for the kill quest, right? Like go kill 20 people here, go kill the boss.
Oh my god, dude! If you had a full squad or like groups of friends that you have to just keep rotating and doing that over and over and over, geez, yeah.
And I agree. I'm really hopeful. I'm thinking about making a video just about some of the main themes I hear. What Alan said in chat is really good. I'm stuck on a bunch of quests because I can't find the key. I go clear out the area where the key should be. I don't find it. I'm out of luck.
Yeah, you kill everyone.
It'd be really cool to be able to like craft keys or trade for keys or something like that with the traders. Would be really neat. Or if there's like it'd be really cool to have like a lock picking set that was like really, really expensive or rare. So like if you have a key you've been looking at for a long time, you can drop a ton of money on a lock pick set and get in like one door, like a one-time use thing.
I don't mind like just a better drop rate or like better or more locations the key could be, you know, in a drawer, in a
static spawns
something,
cool.
you know, little static spawns will too. But you know,
because I do kind of like
having actual stuff to help would be nice.
I do kind of like those quests where it's like we have to go get this key, we know where it's at, we have a direction. Okay, we got it. Now we got to move and get. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. What do you think of these updates, Buff? Where are you at with Gray Zone right now?
I haven't played it since the patch yet, so I'm excited to get back in. And I know, like, you know, you're talking highly of it, and I know this Justin in chat, who I typically play, one of the people I play with, he's loving it with some other people in my community. So again, I'm definitely going to get in and play it. I love that game. It's a lot of fun. It's just a matter of putting aside the time to get in, which I will. I mean, it looks.
It is a very time-consuming game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but just going in and doing a couple quests doesn't take too long. I feel like, and if you're playing with some friends, I mean, that's a game you can sink hours into. Yeah, and you can just sink hours into it. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, these are great updates. I'm definitely excited to jump in and play here soon within the next week.
And looking at the night sky looks amazing too.
Like, it's gonna be pretty.
It looks sick.
Really looking forward to that. Just imagine like the light of the moon hitting through like the leaves of like the jungle top and stuff like that. That will just, oh man.
I super totally get the criticisms of the game. Like I agree with the vast majority of them. Like AI are rough. There's still some issues with AI hit reg, like their aimbot. Like people, I mean, it's a valid concern. Like what's the aimbot AI going to be like at night through bushes? You know, like there's going to be tons of. There's going to be tons of confusing deaths and stuff like that. But when you hear them talk about what they want to add and you see some of the stuff, that they're working on, and like if you imagine how cool the game looks, they're continuing to do optimizations. They're going to add weather to this where the map could flood and water could like run and stuff. Having like rainstorms at night, having the AI do quests, return to their base and sleep at night. So you could do like night ops, go in and kill the AI while they're, you know, sleeping and stuff like that. Like the sky's the limit. They have some really cool stuff. I think it's just going to take patience. And I think a lot of gamers are not good at patience. And I am also one of them too.
So that was always my biggest issue. It's like, I get it. You had to release probably for a certain reason. I don't know the exact reason. Could be a money issue. Could have been just you had this plan for a very long time, which I believe that was the case. But gamers nowadays, there's just so many options for indie games nowadays and AAA. There's just so many game options that people just move on to the next thing. They have like TikTok brain, but for video games. It's just nonstop. Move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing. If it doesn't release in a good state, they move on to the next one and see what happens with that game.
And
That's what was my biggest like worry for that game, and then the Steam player count kind of reflects my worry. I'm hoping that again, when a big content update drops and people will start to see like, oh, okay, I kind of see the full picture instead of just what we have right now, especially from like, talking back in the day with the guys there, and then just like I was so excited when again, as a Stalker fan now, like Roadside Picnic was there, and the influence from that book was going to be in the game, and I was like, heck yeah, I can't wait to see what an anomaly looks like in Gray Zone Warfare. And I was thinking, the AI would have their own life, their own, like they would be doing. It's almost like and I keep bringing it back to Stalker, but like Stalker has this really good system called the A Life system, where like the NPCs in the world are doing their own task at the same time you're moving around. So everything's always constantly changing, and it's dynamic, and you have a bunch of stalkers just chilling at a campfire playing the guitar, making jokes. That'd be great, especially at night, walking up into a village and it just pop pop pop, you and your friend just, they're sitting by a fire eating, all of a sudden they all just drop. It's like that. And then on top of that, imagine you start going more to the center of the map, and now you're dodging weird looking anomalies that you just can't explain. Like that's gonna be in the game. I know it's gonna be in the game, but I think it's gonna take like a year, which they did say that about a year's worth of development.
It might be more.
But it might be more for if they want to get it to that level. So it's like optimization is the biggest factor in my optimization, and AI are two of the biggest issues that I see people complain about almost every time I bring up Gray Zone. Is that AI is too aimbody, or my FPS is crap, no matter what rig or what system I have. So it's like, I'm glad it's continuing on. I just, and I see other games that get shut down and canceled and stuff like that. So I don't think this would happen with that. I hope not. But we're not fortune tellers.
No. My grasp on the situation is I get why people are impatient, and there's also times where we've been burned. There's a lot of games that release like this that don't get finished, and they just sit like this, and they got your money. I don't think this is going to be one of those, and I think things are the way they are for a reason. It can be frustrating right now, but from what I understand, the studio is just kind of maintaining its course and running a marathon, not a sprint. It
Correct.
feels to me like they're not hiring it. Like they could hire a bunch of people, bloat out the company, make things, and then things, you run the risk of changing the culture of the studio and the focus of things and making things complicated. Like when we talked to Jim from EA, how there were 500 and some people in the rendering Discord, or the rendering Slack channel for making Battlefield. And there's just so much going on, it's hard to keep track of stuff.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I feel like they're keeping their studio small with their tight-knit group of devs, and they're plotting forward a step at a time. And where they want to go is really cool. The roadmap is going to tell us a lot about timing. I think they had to release to get the funds to finish it. They have those funds, and we just kind of have to.
When's
hope.
the roadmap coming out?
They keep saying they're today. They said they're finalizing it, so they said it's soon.
Okay.
I have a work trip next week. I'm going to be out of town, so I'm guessing they'll drop it while I'm gone. That's usually that's what I'm betting
So they
on.
come in and chat.
So yeah, you can almost make that a leak because of how like dead on that every time I'm gone something big happens that I would love to make a video about. But
Makes sense.
So the other thing is that I think it's going to get there. I think the progress is going to be slow because they don't want to bloat the studio and then have to scale back and run into financial stuff later. I think they're trying to maintain course. That's my guess.
Yeah, they're playing the long game.
Yeah, and I think they are playing the long game. We'll see how it pays off. We'll see if people can be patient enough. We'll see if they can pull it off. It'll be interesting to see. I'm here for the ride either way. And it's just too exciting of a prospect for the things that they said they want to do. I mean, even if they get most of them done, it's going to be a sick game. And just like you said, some of that stuff sounds like what they're working on. Like the AI is doing stuff like sitting around a fire at night would be so cool. And they're adding, they want to add a bunch of POIs, and they want to add, you know, the ones that you can fight over. Like, so things are like changing all the time. The world is more dynamic, you know, weather's more POIs, have the bases that factions can fight over.
Dude, it's literally my dream game, and it's it's like I can see the potential, man.
I could also see, like, my voice got high for some reason. I don't know why I did that.
He's worried.
But I could also see them needing to release it for another reason, and that's to get data and figure out what's broken, because a lot of the stuff that's broken did not come across in their testing, and they needed people to test stuff to get it fixed. Like the no stash bug was huge, and they didn't, like, that was something that just popped out of nowhere.
And that's when, like, you know, again, it could have been the reason why they released is for who knows the actual official reason, but what I thought should have happened was an open beta, you know, first before releasing it to the public for purchase, because I think that would have been spotted during an open beta.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But, you know, but it's like it's the past. You got to. It's saying that now. It's like doesn't matter now. We're here now. They need to focus on what they can fix as a team. You know.
I think in a year it's going to be a completely different game, and I think in 2 years it could be super badass.
Like the game.
That's my hope.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's the thing. People like take Tarkov for instance before they, you know, got too greedy. It was really pretty basic when it first came out in 2016. You know, and here we are in 2024, and it's had some controversy, but it's still the most, if not number one played extraction game out there still.
Yep.
So gotta give him some time, and I don't see them going down the path of a Nikita route. So
yeah,
okay.
I hope not.
We'll see.
See, I wouldn't even give it 2 years for 1.0. I'd be like, man, like I'd give 2 years, and it still would be technically early access, but not early access, but like in maybe late beta, probably. I don't know. What the heck? What kind of currency is that? Oh, I've seen that before.
What is it?
I've seen this before. Hold on. Oh my gosh, hold up. I gotta Google it.
Thank you, Buff Gamer. I feel bad. Thank
Norwegian krones.
Kroner. Hell yeah.
Thank you for the 10 Norwegian krones, Buff Gamer, not Buffnerd Gamer. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
But yeah, well, I kept seeing it come up. I was like, was that Buff just like making a separate account?
Like,
yeah, that's why he's just typing there the entire time.
Could be.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I feel bad for Buffnerd because he's sitting over there with contact trouble, just listening to Blue and Iran.
Everyone's yelling at us. Sorry, we're Americans, okay?
I can't
Chill,
see
Nebula.
One of my eyes, but we're okay. No, it got a little bit better.
You okay? Seriously?
Yeah. No, one of my contact was just like freaking out for.
I thought you were like slowly going blind in one eye or something like that. Like,
do I get it? I've had tears, yeah, or like. I
was like, Buff's never gonna be able to shoot a gun again, you know?
No, just like it's because it's so hot. I think just they get dry more often, and then once they're dry and hard to.
I can't. That's why I wear glasses, man. I can't. Putting something in my eye, I just the thought of that just bothers me still.
I didn't get over that, but
yeah, it's easy.
Also, real quick, I forgot to mention this. I would love to see, only because I shot a bow and arrow in Texas for the first time. I would love to see something like that in Gray Zone. I think that'd be freaking. Just imagine that, bro.
Cool.
Just cool. Silent, you know, real quick. You just hear the twang of the actual wire itself, or a crossbow or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
It would kind of make sense in an environment like that.
They have them in Far Cry, like,
man, it would be tough to balance because legit, like, arrows.
I mean, it'd be like a slow reload. I feel like, you know,
it'd have to be
a slow reload, slow draw time.
Yeah, That's interesting to think about, but it could like almost one shot anything. Because arrows pin like almost anything. So
would they pen level 4 like composite plates though?
I don't know. Probably not. So that man,
You would have to get like you would have to
bow.
get a headshot. You know, probably
Crossbows
most
are
9 times out
nutty.
of 10.
That's such
Crossbows
a
are scarier
question.
than an actual bow.
I didn't know they.
I just thought about that. Yeah, yeah. We were using like basic, just like dummy arrows, you know, practice arrows. So nothing, you know, little rounded tips, but like just the fact that it went up in the air and it hit the ground and went, boom, it just stuck there and went pretty deep into the dirt. And I was just like, imagine if that was like sharp and that was a person standing in front of it. Like, oof, man. And I know there's so many different types of arrowheads too that people can switch out for.
No,
and
arrows
that could be implemented into Gray Zone too, like just different types of arrows.
Because they have the organs. Yeah, I don't. It'd be interesting. Arrows are impressive though. Like they'll go through more shit than you think. I do know that. My bow right there.
Surprising to me.
Oh yeah. Well, what's the pull on that? Curious.
80 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah.
Got some force behind it,
dude. That thing will shit an arrow now. I'll tell you that. it'll go.
I forget you're my max bench is like your warm up. So
not for long. Yeah. So you know what else is dry? The NFT market. Haha, thanks Neb for the sick segue, brother.
The production team sent him a memo to put that in there. If not, our overlords would be upset.
He just knows that we need help with segues because we try really hard. we do try. Segues are fun to try. We do try. Have you guys seen this stuff with Shatterline?
Yep.
I have not. I heard talks about it, but I haven't seen
it. Hurt, man, because I never played it, but I used to praise its movement, its shooting. I always thought the multiplayer was fun. You know, well, fun to watch. I used to watch my buddy Crucial play, and this guy would just be one-shotting, sniper, bah, 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 just, you know, and it wasn't like cancerous Call of Duty movements, you know, speed and whatnot. So yeah, when I saw that, it was you explain it, because like I want people to understand why I'm this upset.
Man, to me, it's a really weird issue. And I think we're all on the same page that NFTs are pretty stupid.
Yeah, you're paying for a JPEG.
The game itself felt a lot like kind of, to me, it felt like kind of like Halo, kind of like Destiny, like kind of like Destiny's PvP stuff, like multiplayer stuff. And the map design was really good. The movement was good. Like it was a really well put together arena shooter. I'll say, if it was like a more grounded setting, we'd be all over that thing. It had a weird deal. Well, it's also got a PvE thing. Like it's got like a co-op thing, kind of like this. Like you can go do missions and stuff too. So it's got a kind of a mission. It kind of feels a little bit like Helldivers, kind of like you go in and you run the missions co-op a little bit. I haven't played it in a minute, but the PvP was really good. It was like a hidden gem of FPS arena shooters, of how well it played. But I didn't realize it hadn't released. So I thought it had released, but I guess it's been in beta this time and it's getting ready to release. The player numbers have dropped off a fair amount. I can't really tell why. I think probably because we're seeing a lot of shooters with that aesthetic, with that futuristic kind of cosmic space type thing, like Halo, Destiny type shooters. Just kind of out there cosmetic stuff. Maybe its art style is kind of generic and maybe it kind of got lost in the sauce from that way, but the game itself played really well and it dropped to like 200 players or something like that. But now it's getting ready to release, and they just announced that when they release, they're going off of Steam and it's going to be on the Epic Game Store, and it's going to be with Fairway GG, who is a publisher of Web3 and NFT token stuff. So it's going to be a play to earn game. You're going to be playing it to earn NFTs, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. so that's just I mean, it's not even a double-edged sword. It's like a double-pointed dildo. I don't know what to say. It's like it's screwed them twice because they're gonna move over to like leaving Steam. I think is a terrible move. Going to the Epic Game Store. I can't imagine.
They did that on purpose. I feel like.
Well, I think they had to for the NFTs to work.
Is that the reason?
That's true too.
I think so.
I think so as well too.
I think so. And then it, you know, doing that fairway thing is, I get the feeling, and I think a lot of people get the vibe. I haven't. Big Fry's covered it. He did another video today. I haven't got the chance to watch yet. So if you want more information, check out Big Fry's channel for sure. If you want the details about it. But what it feels like to me is that they saw their low player numbers, got worried about it, and want to try to make money back. And you know, one way to squeeze a lot of money out of a few people is with NFTs. Somebody always loses money with NFTs because people buy them and they get the money and then they're not worth as much, and whoever is putting them out keeps the money. They're mostly, from what we've seen from NFTs and Web3 gaming stuff, it's a scam. So it seems like a last-ditch effort, and it's a really disappointing end to a cool game. I think it's going to be absolutely DOA.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of already dead for a bit, to be honest. Just the sheer player count, like it just, even after release, it wasn't going to go up. They just shot themselves in the foot. The craziest part in watching Big Fry's video, you know, of the fact that they lied about it beforehand.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Of the fact that they mentioned in Discord, hey, we heard rumors of NFTs coming to the game. Is it coming? And they went out, the dev themselves put it in the Discord, said, no, there is no plans for that. And like 2 years later, there it was. And then they also mentioned that it's been in development for the last 2 years. So they actively lied to the community just so the whatever community was left wouldn't leave. And then also Chad brought up a good point too in chat. Like, yeah, a lot of devs left prior to, I would say, the announcement of this, because they probably saw the shitstorm that was coming down their way. So it's it was just very scummy of them to do something like that. And I'm sure there's probably some good devs on that team that had no say. But it's too late now. Like, it's that game is tainted by greed and, I guess, another corporation trying to squeeze whatever money left out from this project.
Sad.
Yep, that's what it seems like. It seems like we're going down and we're gonna take as much as we can while we go.
Yep. Yeah. And it sucks because, like, man, it was the PvP modes, like they even had, did they have like some kind of search and destroy game mode? I feel like they had a one life mode, and I don't
recall.
I don't remember if not, but I remember like seeing there were, but anyways, it still would have been, I mean, if they had that, and I'm pretty sure Buff and Crash might have been playing. I don't know if maybe, are you into that kind of stuff?
But like bomb modes? Yeah. I am.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's just another game to add on top of the pile of games that blew themselves up, shot themselves in the foot, got shut down. Just another name to go in the bucket, pretty much.
Yep. So I don't have too much else. I did want to have Buff fill us in on, he sent a story about Apex Legends. We haven't used it in a while, but let's hit a
quick shot.
Woo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's up with this thing, Buff? It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think, an example of, everyone was comparing it, just like it's even worse than Call of Duty as far as like their monetization system in game right now. I mean, this is, so to be fair though, this is season 22 of Apex. So
we're talking about Apex Legends.
Yeah, Apex Legends. So this came out
not Titanfall 3. Okay,
yeah, right. So this came out what was it, 2020? right? It's been out like 4 years. It came out right around
Man, no.
Warzone time, or was it before? I can't remember.
I think it's like 2018 because it came out when
2018.
Firestorm did.
Okay, yeah. So it's been around for a long time. I mean, regardless, season 22, like, that's crazy. So that in itself is wild, but what they're doing, I guess, with the launch of this next season is they're going to take away the ability to pay for the battle pass, purchase the battle pass with the in-game currency. So that's like the same as you can't use the COD points to purchase in-game COD points to purchase the battle pass. And they're also doubling what the cost of the battle pass is for the total, including the total price of the season. So it's like a typical EA move with this. So again, I think being that I have a feeling this game maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's like are the player numbers down? Are they getting ready for a second iteration of the game? Is this kind of like, okay, let's just how much money can we get out of this while we work on a second version or an updated version or something? Who knows? Just a weird move this far into the game.
I will say, I have been listening to the EA earnings calls because I was like super covering Battlefield, and they did talk about how revenue from Apex Legends has been down like the last couple quarters.
Yeah.
So and man, you have COD doing its thing, and I mean you have to a way lesser extent what Shatterline just did, and then you have this to where what it appears to me like is like you used to be able to be like COD where like once you bought it looked like once you bought a battle pass, it looked like you could almost earn like the next one with Apex coins. And now it's to where you have to pay $10 every half season for the premium. The premium plus new. So there's a premium plus bundle where it looks like it's $19.99 where you get some more extra stuff. But yeah, they're basically, you can't buy it with Apex coins in-game stuff anymore. You have to buy it with real money. And you have that happening, and then you have what Rainbow Six did. Rainbow Six also brought in like a really terrible membership deal where it's like $80 for the year. $80.
That's crazy.
For the battle pass and a couple extra cosmetics and stuff. So man, I think studios and stuff are just trying to get money from people in this dog shit economy. Like that's what I feel like's happening.
Yeah, makes the most sense.
But it sucks to see
especially this far into the game,
Yeah, like what was the point? Like, did they not already make their money, especially when it comes to like Rainbow Six at this point? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, with EA, I think
especially EA too. I mean, Apex Legends was so popular, man.
Yeah, but if their earnings are down, I don't. Battlefield isn't making money. I don't.
That's true. It's all about
what is. I think
earning calls and stockholders, and
I think Apex has been kind of their money maker outside of the sports game, the sports games that they offer, like FIFA and all that stuff. I think Apex is the only one that's probably been profitable to a large extent. I'm guessing. I could be completely wrong. I don't have any data to back that up, but it just it seems like now they're in a place where probably none of their other games outside of sports or Star Wars or whatever are making money like they wanted to, so they're increasing prices.
Yeah, they did say they did also say that their sports like FIFA was really carrying them.
Yeah,
so they make a ton of money from FIFA packs.
That makes sense.
Still a ton of people playing it, man. On Steam.
I mean, it's, and so I know it's still, I see all my like the friends like on Facebook that still just play on console. That's like one of the main games they play is Apex Legends on their Xbox or their PlayStation.
And I mean, I mean, they
next to other games, but
they didn't really cite lower player numbers in the earnings call. They just said lower earnings, and it just really feels like people aren't spending money on stuff like games anymore, trying to buy groceries.
Yeah,
that too. Yeah, I mean, like dude, I mean, just to fill up a tank of gas you know, and then you want people to spend money on skins that on a game that might not exist in 10 years. You
That's
know,
the other
5
thing
to
is
10
with the live
years.
services is like, will those skins come over? You know, you don't really, that hasn't been something that's really been addressed with Call of Duty. I mean, that's, you know, you purchase all those skins, and then what? You lose them with the next game. So that's something I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't know if
Exactly.
they address that here or not, but you know, it is something
Well, it's
be aware of.
there's games, even single player games have an issue where it's let's say a game came out, there was a skin economy that you could buy in the beginning, like as a pre-order or stuff like that. But then the game company shuts down, and then if you didn't buy a physical copy, they revoke your access or something like that. Sometimes that is a possibility. I'm not saying all games do that, but that has happened in the past.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it just seems like from what people are saying, like they're just trying to get money out of people. And I saw like a really crazy Facebook post from a guy, and I think it was legit because he showed all the screenshots of it. He did a Walmart order in like 2018 or 2019. It was like 40 bucks.
that.
Did the same thing, and it was like $250. Like ordered the same.
Yeah, so it was for 45 items for him for the month, and it was like $130 or something like that, maybe a little bit less. And the same order nowadays cost him 400 and something. Yeah, so 4 times the amount.
Yeah,
you know, just to get basic groceries. And you know, and people are like, "Oh, stop buying name brand stuff, bro. That was great value stuff. Chill." All right.
Well, I mean, it just feels like you can kind of tell where things are at, like economy wise, that people, it's shifting from and everybody pays and gets a good product, gets a good game and plays together, to where a lot of people can't afford that. It's almost shifting to like a whale economy, where instead of everybody paying like a little bit and getting their money's worth, they're making it all cosmetic stuff to where the whales will pay a ton and they get a ton of money out of some people rather than like a little bit of support from a lot of people is what.
Yeah, and those people should like maybe make up for the loss that other people won't. So
that's what it feels like. They're trying to get for the people that aren't able to afford or don't want to. Like, I don't even want to say not able to afford stuff. I could buy skins, but I think it's silly, and I think people maybe are
being reasonable with your money. I think too, like a lot of us gamers that grew up playing video games understand, hey, we got bills to pay now. You know, there's families to feed. I'm not gonna go and spend on a, you know, skin on a video game that doesn't really matter anymore, especially when it comes to like crazy Call of Duty skins and stuff like that. It's just, you know, I mean, to each their own. It's people are gonna do it regardless. You know, people are gonna buy skins. Our audience will listen, right? You know, but
you know, that's where I've always been with like skins. Is if it's, you know, like Call of Duty, obviously, like Modern Warfare 2019, I bought a lot of skins because there was immersive skins that appealed to me. And I was sinking a lot of hours into the game at the time and content creation and Warzone, and it made sense. And I was happy to be, you know, that's something for me personally as a gamer, like anything to make it more of an immersive feeling. Like I loved looking at my operator and my weapon builds in that game and the gunsmith and stuff. That was just awesome for me personally. But yeah, and then they don't offer those types of bundles for me anymore, so I'm not going to give them my money. So I think that's another part of it is, you know, are they going to appeal to everybody, or like it's the same thing? Like Call of Duty is like, okay, we make the most money off of little anime boo girls, so let's just pump those out. Let's put
Fortnite into Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I what was it too? Like the whole I start having an issue when it becomes a pay to win purchase.
Right. Yeah, which you do see some of that in COD. I don't know how it is with Apex Legends, but
yeah, I don't know anything about Apex Legends. I played, well, I can't say I never played. I think I played like a round or two because I was just craving another Titanfall game, and I realized this is not Titanfall.
Yeah, I played a little bit too. Yeah, you're right. That did launch. I think it was 2018 because it was right around the time of Blackout. And I remember trying it, and I was just not into it because I thought Blackout was more immersive at the time.
Yeah, that did come out around Blackout. Blackout, in my opinion, was the better battle royale. I think. I don't know. But then, which game came out? Was it? Yeah. So like, I remember Apex Legends came in with like respawning your teammates. I think that was that the first BR? Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know if it was the first. I can't say that for sure, but I just remember when they announced it, I was like, oh shit, like you can bring your teammates back.
Well, then I remember like when they announced it, then other games started putting it into their games. I remember like when Fortnite did it and stuff like that. So, you know, they've definitely done some good stuff, you know, development wise. And again, shout out to the trailer team. Those trailers kind of look like little mini like animated movies.
Yeah, they're wild.
Every single time.
For sure.
You know, so so always the trailers carrying the games nowadays.
I agree. Well, is that a program?
I think so.
Yeah.
I like it.
We kind of ended off on a bad, like on a kind of like depressing note there. You're doing so well.
I think it just shows the state of AAA gaming, honestly, is really what I think. I think it just shows where AAA shooters, and more specifically AAA shooters, is right there. It's like they're not making money.
I'm just waiting for our creators.
The same thing, you know. So
no one knows where it went.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at the whole episode, Blue, like the first most of it, we talked about cool indie games that are on the come.
True. What? So, well, that's the indie games I feel like indie games. Oh yeah, they wrote to Vostok Dev Blog, dude. That was sick.
Dang it!
Oh my gosh, how did I forget about that? Okay, well we got to bring that up next week then, because there was a lot in that one too. Sorry, Auntie.
We're the worst. Auntie, we're the worst. Forgive us.
Oh my god, how dare we? No, but again, it's 2000 and what? When did Activision make Call of Duty?
Oh, a long time ago.
Like 2005, somewhere in there.
And that's like maybe that's 5, kind of what's happening again, you know. And I think I mentioned it multiple times before. It's the resurgence of ex developers going out and making their own studios, then getting big, and maybe eventually those studios will have to, you know, start competing with other indie devs. I don't know. It's just like a never ending cycle. Again, like I said, I'm waiting for Arc Raiders. That other Bungie game that's coming out as well too. Is it Bungie, right? That other I don't even know what that's called, that crazy looking game.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But anyways, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I lose power, which is a good thing. So
that is
oh, did you have a storm? I missed that.
Yeah, it's currently raining cats and dogs. I had hail a couple days ago.
Oh, that's fun.
Jeez.
Yeah, little tiny. Okay. Yeah, dude, little tiny balls of ice. It was crazy. It was my first time ever seeing hail. I've never seen hail before.
Dude, we get it like crazy in Kansas. I've seen some big stuff.
Oh man, dude. I mean, it was like literally like little. I could have taken some, put some in my cup of water, and had some nice ice cubes.
There you go. I've seen it in Denver in like June when I was in Denver. I mean, it's really surprising it happened in Florida, but when I was in Denver a couple years back for like a wedding. I think it was like early June, I want to say, and it's like hailed for like 20 minutes, and they're like, yeah, this is normal here. I was like, wow.
Oh my god,
I would have never guessed. Yeah, I guess the altitude and stuff, but yeah, Florida,
we get it every year here.
Yeah, look, man. Global warming. Anyways, I'm just kidding.
Aliens.
You got aliens. You got it.
Shit.
Oh shit. All right,
guys.
Cool.
Thanks everyone. Thank you, audio listeners. Thank you everyone who's been here live. Thank you for the incredible amount of support today. Nev, Justin, Buff Gamer, all you guys that did super chats. Crazy. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It's very, very much appreciated. If you want to support the show, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be like them. You can just be a friend, tell a friend, share the show around, leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, preferably a nice one, and that helps push the podcast around. I guess we found out this week, so that's good. Keep doing that. Thank you guys so much. I enjoyed it, and we'll be in touch. Bye, everyone.
Later.
Peace.